It's been over 3 months since the government of Rwanda ordered places of worship to close as one of the measures to control the spread of the COVID-19. Believers understand the rationale of closing places of worship, but they also admit that they long for the day masses will be permitted to resume. I'm a member of the worship team in ADEPR Gachechero. We miss praying and worshiping together. It is a very difficult moment for us, spending such a long time without going to church. We miss masses. But thank God, we managed to meet and worship virtually. But we still want to meet and worship together. It would be great to meet and fellowship together as the family of believers. I know our leaders are thoughtful, and I hope they will consider our plea to allow us meet and pray together. Recently, leaders of faith-based organizations appealed to the Prime Minister, requesting for the reopening of places of worship in some parts of the country where COVID-19 restrictions have been lifted. Joel Sengoga, the leader of Interchurch Council of Rwanda, urges the government to consider the request and open places of worship in some parts of the country. The Minister of Health had announced 0 new cases of COVID-19 in the country for 10 days running. We based on that to write to the Prime Minister, believing that the time was due to reopen places of worship for mass gatherings. In the process, there was a spike in new infections in some parts of the country, like Rusizi and Rubavu. The Mufti of Rwanda, Sheikh Salim Hitimana, says that leaders of faith-based organizations are cognizant of the recent spike in new COVID-19 infections in some parts of the country. He revealed to us what they discussed with the government leaders. The meeting went well. We discussed a number of guidelines to be implemented once places of worship are allowed to open. We gave them our inputs as leaders of faith-based organizations. Authorities are due to examine our plea, as written in the letter sent to RGB. We are ready to welcome and respect the decision taken by authorities. Despite calls by believers and their leaders to open places of worship in some parts of the country, the government is still concerned about new COVID-19 infections, according to Dr. Yusta Kaitesi, the CEO of Rwanda Governance Board. Places of worship will not open for now. COVID-19 is still in our midst. We've been getting new infections, despite an increase in the number of recoveries. Based on that, we still need to maintain preventive measures. RGB, the registrar of faith-based organizations in Rwanda, also says that they have been conducting regular discussions with leaders of faith-based organizations to find suitable guidelines to control the spread of COVID-19 should churches and mosques are permitted to open for masses. Some of the proposed guidelines include installation of water taps for people to wash their hands and ensure hygiene, mass sensitization of COVID-19 preventive measures, among other precautionary steps.